CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. Is a measure of the average change in prices of a basket of goods and services consumed by households over time. It typically includes a wide range of goods and services that represent the spending habits of the average consumer. The specific items and categories included may vary depending on the country or organization calculating the index, but some common components of the CPI can include food and beverages, housing, transportation, medical care, education, recreation, clothing and footwear, communication, other goods and services. CPI affects the economy in several ways. 1. Inflation. CPI is used as a key indicator of inflation. Rising CPI suggests increasing prices, which can erode the purchasing power of consumers and reduce the value of money. High inflation can negatively impact savings, investments, and economic stability. 2. Cost of living. CPI helps measure changes in the cost of living. As CPI increases, it indicates that it requires more money to maintain the same standard of living. This information is crucial for individuals, businesses, and policymakers to adjust wages, benefits, and social security payments. 3. Monetary policy. Central banks, such as the Federal Reserve in the United States, closely monitor CPI when formulating monetary policies. If CPI is rising too rapidly, it may prompt central banks to implement measures like raising interest rates to curb inflation. The following is how changes in CPI affect purchasing power and wages. Purchasing power. If the CPI increased by 1.1% compared to June 2022, it means that in July 2021, $10,000 could buy a certain amount of goods, but in July 2022, it would take $10,110 to purchase the same amount. This means that $10,110 in 2022 is equivalent to $10,000 in 2021, indicating a weaker purchasing power of the currency compared to before. Regarding wages, let's say Mr. Wong's salary in 2021 was $5,000. By July 2022, his salary remains at $5,000. However, this implies that his salary in 2022 has effectively decreased compared to 2021 because he would need a salary of $5,050 in 2022 to have the same purchasing power as $5,000 in 2021. This is formula for calculating the CPI. CPI equals for all items, 100. This formula calculates the average price change relative to the base period, with the base period assigned a value of 100. The resulting CPI value represents the percentage change in prices from the base period to the current period. It's important to note that there are different variations and adjustments made in the calculation of CPI by different countries and organizations. The good range for CPI depends on various factors, including economic goals and the overall economic environment. Generally, central banks aim for a target range of moderate inflation, typically around 2% in many advanced economies. This range is often considered desirable as it allows for economic growth while preventing deflationary pressures.